Hey, what's going on, guys? Jeff Koga here, and welcome to week 4 of my video blog, Confessions of a Real Estate Investor. If you have not done so, click on the button, get, and look at the other weeks and follow me along because it's going to be an interesting one. This week, I'm going to cover 2 things. One thing that happened in my business that actually was a snap of a finger and had tremendous amount of return that just happened, and it was from a concept, and that concept was executed by actually following something called speed of implementation. And speed of implementation is one of the #1 thing that you need to focus on if you're an investor, or matter of fact, if you own any type of business, I believe. Okay, so I'll go into that and kind of tell you the story on what happened. And the second part I want to go into is actually a question from y'all who's been following me. Is I got it on my blog asking me how I implement social media into my business, and why he thinks, or why I think it's important. Okay, so I'll explain in details on that and why social media, it's not essentially a social media marketing campaign, but it's more a cultural shift that's going on, I believe, in all across the nation, and how business is going to be ran. Okay, so but back to the first part. And matter of fact, I actually have to time this because the earlier one I did, it went a little bit over, and but anyways, this is raw uncut stuff. So the point of the matter is that the #1 thing, the speed of implementation part, is here's what happened. Okay, earlier this week, right? I was talking to my guy Edwin. He runs our whole acquisition department, and we were going through concept and ideas and strategizing, right? The tactical stuff that I've been always telling you about, right? Think it through, competitive advantage, right? And we were going through concept and ideas, and says, okay, what resources do we have now that we can use to go ahead and generate more revenue? And for us, revenue equates to doing more deals, and for us to do more deals, we have to have either one, we go out there and push information and have people and then have them call us, or have people bring it to us, right? It's either hunting or farming, right? That's the 2 ways that you're going to be able to do any type of business. You're either a hunter, you go out there and get the deals yourself, or you farm and have the deals come to you, right? So if you can run those 2 things and those 2 concepts, then you're pretty much you're not going to have any issues with deal flow, right? So we're talking about that and what resource we have, and we have this particular resource of data where we constantly sell postcards to create a very hyper responsive cash buyers list in LA. So anyone y'all that's out there, you need to move properties, and it's out in LA. We have, not to toot my own horn, but we have probably one of the biggest lists in LA, because we created, and that's what we focus on, but very hyper responsive, meaning people love our property, and our properties will get sold in 24 hours. It's the freaking deal. Okay, but anyways, we're going over that, and we're just like, okay, let's send out another postcard and take a little different swing to this, right? And we talked about this concept and this idea, and I was like, holy shit, Edwin, this is fucking brilliant. And we went to bed, right? And then check this out on what happened. He sent out an email. It's actually dated 4 days ago on March 27, and because we were talking about direct mail, sending out postcards, but instead, because then afterwards I was debating, okay, what's the ROI? What's the response rate I'm going to get? Okay, out of that, how many deals are we going to get out of that? And so I was trying to find out, okay, after the response, how many contracts are we going to get? And out of that contract, how much can we make in either assignment fees or if we buy it and stuff like that? And I was trying to calculate all that stuff. But he sent out an email. And bottom line, the important part is listen to this email, okay? And this went out to our cash buyers list that has over 11,000 here locally in LA, to our list. And he said, hello, investors, wholesalers. If you currently have any deals under contract and don't plan to purchase it, please let us know. We can do one of 3 things. Scenario #1, we will purchase it, just assign the contract to us. Why? Because we're bona fide cash buyers and we're looking to rehab, flip, and stuff like that. We need to have deals, right? Scenario #2, we will help you wholesale it, right? And it says, if you have never wholesaled the property before, we'll help you through the process and guide you step by step. Pretty neat, right? And scenario #3, you can become a private lender or joint venture with us. Feel free to contact me or shoot me an email if you have any other questions. And I don't know if Edwin did this on purpose or not, but he didn't leave a phone number. So it says call me, but how are you going to call him? You know, there's no phone number unless you already have his number, so you only could email back, right? Pretty smart stuff, unless he did it by accident. I don't know that part. But after that, right? And I got that email, and I said, and I was looking at this because it was sent out like pretty early in the morning, and I'm looking at this, and I said, dude, this is fucking brilliant. And he said, yeah, the feedback that he got from our list was tremendous amount, and we're going to pick up probably 1 or 2 deals from there, just from that one single email, right? So we talk about speed of implementation in this video earlier, and because of that, I say your business is going to rely on how fast you can take an idea, right, that you discuss with your team, your, guys that are out in the field, whoever it is, your eyes and ears, and then be able to take that concept and theory and solidify it and execute it. Now, that speed of implementation is how fast you're going to be successful, and I believe in any business, because in this market, and I go into the next part, that cultural shift part that I'm talking about, is that the business and how we run business, in my opinion, is changing so quickly that how fast you implement something is going to show you how quickly you're going to succeed in this business, right? And it goes to my second part, which is the social media part, right? Because I got a comment on my blog, getcrgnow.com. If you've never been there, go there now, getcrgnow.com. We got some pretty damn good content on there, and leave me a comment. I personally respond back. Why? Because I like to go ahead and see what y'all are thinking. And this goes into the big part, right? And why most internet marketers or most guys who are preaching this internet stuff are dead wrong, okay? And here's what I mean, okay? Matter of fact, there might be a contract somewhere around here. I wish I could show you. There was an internet marketing company that came to me, or better yet, I was trying to help out my girlfriend's, and because she's doing some of the internet marketing stuff, and I guess the company approached her and was asking her, this is what we're going to do for X, Y, and Z. So I said, hey, send me that contract. Let me take a look on what that contract's all about. And literally, I almost fell out of my chair based on the shit that they were trying to sell them and how much it was costing. Why? Because one, social media is the new hip thing and what people are going by and saying, yeah, this is how you do it. But most people are dead wrong, okay? And here's what I mean, okay? And even in that contract, I shredded the part and I sent it back and I said, here, give it to that person. That person is full of shit. He's charging 15 grand for this, and he's not even being specific on what they're going to do. So they were dead wrong. But anyways, back to the issue on social media, okay? Is if you're watching this video, this is a plain, simple example of why social media is so powerful, right? One is I can make a video on a cheap little camera phone that have no edits whatsoever, and I can express what I feel towards y'all in my business and my concept and whatever it is that I'm talking about, and you're listening, right? But also at the same time, what I'm doing is I'm listening to you guys also. And this is where most folks get it wrong, because most marketers or most old school marketers are used to what they call, I think, is push marketing, direct response, right? Have people call you, contact you, and generate a lead, right? More of a kind of like a hunter's mentality, right? Which is nothing wrong, but the social shift that's going on in our culture is now changing to now, I believe the consumer has more power than the actual service provider, meaning that, platforms like Yelp, right? Meaning platforms like Groupon, meaning platforms like Amazon, right? Are all platforms where it's buyer driven, meaning that they can put comments and reviews of any business, regardless if you're a mortgage broker, you're a real estate appraiser, especially if you're a realtor, and especially even if you're an investor also, right? Is they're going to put reviews based on you, and they are watching every single thing that you're doing, okay? And if they're doing that, what do you need to do? Is one, you can't be that hunter and start pushing information out. You need to listen more. And that's why you have 2 ears, 1 mouth, as they say, right? Because you need to listen 2 times more than you talk. And this is where the cultural shift is happening, and why social media marketing is so damn important, and why you need to implement in any business is because of that. And that's why, folks are tweeting stuff, right? People in our generation, right? 30, 40s, or even under that are tweeting stuff, using Facebook, talking about stuff, that they'll never talk about. And the culture is shifting is because previously the introverts that will never, talk to anyone or whatever it is now posting statuses on their Facebook is now, because of that, is now turning them into an extrovert now, right? But it is human nature that I believe, and this is what I strongly believe in, is that when most folks are truly want to be extroverts. Why? Because it's human nature to express themselves. I believe that we're hardwired that way, right? But anyways, it goes back to that portion of you need to listen to your customer base, meaning that you need to, you're an investor, you need to listen to your investors and see what their risk tolerance is on the deal. Do they see the changes that are happening in the market, right? You as a wholesaler, you need to listen more to your cash buyer on what they want, right? Because if the rest of the wholesalers are including permits and going to building and safety and pulling plot maps, pulling permits and giving it to their cash buyer, that is now a standard, in my opinion. Just like how, folks in the 90s or early 90s, right, when internet came out and people wanted to buy shit on the internet, right? People always have to pay for shipping and handling, right? Now that is absurd, right? If shipping and handling is included in everything that you buy. So that means that the business has shifted. The things that were actually, the benefit of going on the internet to buy stuff and you're getting charged shipping and handling, now shipping and handling is included as a standard. So same thing, just like that, if you're a wholesaler, you better include those permits because the market is shifting in that direction, in my opinion. Now, why is most folks wrong is because you'll hear this, and I'm sure you'll agree with this 100%, is people will say, and I believe this also, is content equals what? King, right? People will say content is king and you need to spit out content. But in my opinion, it really isn't content. And here's what I mean, okay, is because the gentleman name of Eric Schmidt, and if you don't know who Eric Schmidt is, he's the guy on Google or whatever, Google him, okay? He was on TechCrunch a few years ago, and this is where it really opened my eyes, okay? I think it was like 2010, where he talked about on TechCrunch, because I follow that, and he said something. He said, from beginning of time, right, meaning when freaking people were in the caves or whatever it is, right? And from beginning of time till 2003, the amount of content or information that is produced, right, add all that crap up and produce, and now released is in 2 days, is the same amount of information. So from beginning of time to 2003, all that content information is now being released every 48 hours. So do you really believe content is king, right? Is it really content? Or the next part is it the relationship and your ability to actually listen and actually put context behind it, and getting to know your customer base, getting to know your investors, especially you're a realtor, because I see a lot of realtor marketers and realtors that are doing, social media marketing totally wrong. Some are doing it good because I see it, but most of it, they're doing it wrong. Is you need to build relationships using a social media platform. Why? Because it's a cultural shift, and if you're a real estate agent or if you're in the real estate business and you don't see that change and you don't see the importance of that, then the guys like us and our generation and the people younger, this is how we communicate. And if you think that it's not worth it, especially in the adolescent stages of the internet, okay, I started on the internet on AOL 1.0, and thank my mom for that, for putting me on the computer game so early, and don't give me any Asian jokes about computers, okay? But because of that, I was blessed on that fact. But most folks will go say, Jeff, I see you doing this crazy internet marketing stuff, but you're so young, you're learning it, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, I'm in my 60s, I can't do the stuff you're doing, right? But which is total bullshit in my opinion, because when you wanted to learn how to drive to get your driver's license, I'm sure it's never stuff that you never done, but you did it, Why? Because you did it because you thought that it was that important for you to get a whip, sit in the car, take you from point A to Z, right? And this is what I'm talking about, is that if you see the importance and value in actually social media, why? Because it started, internet is like 1993, today is 2012, and it's less than 10 years, okay? It's not even in its teenage years, and folks are still questioning what the internet is, okay? A concept that I heard a keynote speaker say this is that, what if Blockbuster, right, listened a few years ago and listened to what Netflix was doing and also Redbox was doing, right? Would they be in business still? My opinion, I think they would. So you need to listen more on what your clienteles or the customer bases are doing, and you need to conform your business after that. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. So Jeff Koga, week 4, and leave me a comment.